yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, 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 hey. Start the squad gang, boy, you start the squad's lame. Yeah. Start the squad gang, boy, you start the squad's lame. Yeah. Start the squad gang, boy, you start the squad's lame. Really? Start the squad gang, boy, you start the squad's lame. Yeah. Broke boy RTG coming soon, dog. We coming. Really, I'm the GOAT, like I'm Tupac. Billy. Cheap beats on my team, we so budget. Facts, dog. FIFA 20, we about to crush shit. Yeah, bye.
What is going on, YouTube? It is your boy, One Star Week Fit, and we are back for another FIFA 20 video. And today, we're going to talk about starter squads. And in my opinion, this is the funnest part of every FIFA at the beginning of the year. Finding the cheap beasts. Finding the hidden gems that are going to carry your squad through the beginning stages of FIFA. And it doesn't really matter how expensive your team gets at the end of FIFA. You'll always end up with a soft spot for these starter squad players. So in order to help you guys build your starter squads, in order to help you guys find these cheap beasts, I built 5 starter squads for you guys just to give you guys some ideas. You don't even have to take the whole squad. You could even just take half of the squad, some pieces of the squad. I really included a lot of like strong links, hyperlinks in there. So even if you don't take the whole idea, hopefully you guys find these videos helpful so you can take, some inspiration from the squads I build. If you're enjoying this content and you want to see more of this kind of stuff, please don't forget to hit the like button down below. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below. Without further ado though, I'm going to jump into squad number uno. Alright, so this is squad number 1 right here. And I think it's actually one of the best squads I'm going to show on this video. So we're going to start off strong here. And when you look at this squad, I mean, even if you run into weekend league with a squad like this, I think you're going to be well covered in all bases. It's a very well-rounded squad. So we're going to start with the top here. We have Promes, Van de Beek, and Bergwijn. And honestly, Promes and Bergwijn are already like a very, very good starter squad as far as attacking. The only weakness here is Bergwijn's 2-star weak foot. But it's the beginning of the game, so you're going to have to concede some things. Van de Beek would make a great CDM or CM, depending on the formation you're playing. When you look at the midfield, you're going to have Kondogbia, who even though they've nerfed him a bit, still looks like a beast. I mean, 88 physical, 78 defense. You just can't ignore those stats. You have Voss, who could double as a cam or a CM. So if you want to play 4-1-2-2, 4-2-3-1, or whatever the case is, you can play this guy in your midfield. You have Gamero, who every single year is a great starter squad striker. This year looks no different. He has 79 shooting, 85 pace. He looks like he's going to be able to be a very reliable starter, pretty much striker. When you look at the defense, we're having a bunch of smaller league players here, but they're all very meta. I mean, you have Grimaldo, who looks like a very, very good card. He has gotten the upgrade, and he does look like the cheap man's Jordi Alba. You have Mario Fernandes, who low-key is an amazing right back at the beginning of the game every single year. This year, he looks like the cheap man's Marcus Alonso. And then we look at the defense. You have this guy. I don't even know how to say his name, but 82 pace, 81 physical, 78 defense are monster stats at the beginning of the game. You have Ruben Diaz, who looks like he has a bright future in real life. So they have given him an upgrade. The only weakness here is his pace at 65, but honestly, I think at the beginning of the game, you will be able to get away with it. You have Akinfeev, who honestly isn't the best player to put here, but he's the only one that's going to be able to give this team chem. So that's going to be team number 1. I think it's a very well-rounded squad. Like I said, the main weaknesses here are maybe the center back's pace, the goalkeeper, and the 2-star weak foot. But for the price, I'm anticipating you can get this team for under 100K before the first weekend league. I think it's going to be an amazing, amazing value for money. Now we have starter squad number 2, and we've gotten a little bit more mainstream, but we're still not quite in the Premier League yet. We're going to have a Bundesliga, Ligue 1 hybrid, and both of those leagues are really good for starter squads. Both of them have a lot of meta, cheap players that are going to really serve you good in the first month of FIFA. We're going to start with the attack. We have Bailey, Volland, and Balde Diao. And all 3 of them, every single year, are very good starter squad players. This year looks no different. I mean, you have Bailey and Balde Diao. They have the pace, the shooting, the passing, the skill moves, the weak foot. Balde Diao even is tall and has some physical to him. Bailey, not so much, but both of them are going to be very, very good starter starter squad wingers. You have Volland, who even though he doesn't quite have the pace, he has 84 shooting, 79 passing, 83 physical. He does look like a poor man's Firmino with a little bit more physical added onto him. I think he's going to be a very, very good starter squad player. And I think he's going to be somebody that a lot of people sleep on because I never see Volland, even at the beginning of the game, even though he is a good player at the beginning of the game, I never see Volland. I think he's going to be a really nice shot for a good starter game striker. So let's look at the midfield. And in my opinion, the midfield is the best part about this team. You have Draxler, 5-star weak foot. He does have the shooting and passing capabilities. He does have the nice dribbling, the size. And then you have Gana Gay, who you guys know is the cheap man's Conte. Using him in the demo, I think he's an amazing player. He has 85 defense, which is insane for 83 rated CDM. You have Thiago Mendes, who can be pretty much a well-rounded CDM. You could play him at CDM. You could play him at CM. He has the 4-star skills. He does have the decent pace, the decent passing. He could be a poor man's Gigi Wijnaldum. Now, when you look at the defense, it's actually a very good defense. I'm very proud of this defense. You have Diego Carlos and Diallo. Both of them are pace monsters at the center back position. You have Aguilar and Renan Lodi. And these two players, I feel like, are being very slept on as far as fullbacks. Aguilar is a very well-rounded fullback. Renan Lodi, look at these stats. 84 pace, 72 physical, 79 dribbling, 74 passing. A very well-rounded left back. And he does have the 4-star skills, which a lot of people don't know about. And then we have Areola. All right, you don't have to use Areola here. You can use any French Ligue 1 goalkeeper. I'm just using Areola because he's a very, very good player. I'm just worried about his price because he does link to a lot of good players, so he might be expensive at the beginning of the game. Who knows? Either way, that's going to be squad number 2. I think it's a very nice squad. I think it actually might be a better squad than the first squad. I'm not sure. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. But we're going to move on to squad number 3, which is going to be a Serie A Liga NAS, La Liga Santander hybrid. It's actually a pretty creative hybrid. There's a lot of hyperlinks here, so if you don't use exactly this team, you can use a lot of the ideas that I used here. So, front 3, we're going to have Neres, Lozano, and Rebic. And in my opinion, that's almost as good as it gets as far as starter game squads. You have Neres with the 5-star skills. Not the best shooting and passing, but he does look very, very similar to Jadon Sancho. We have Lozano, as you guys know, was an absolute beast. He has the pace, the decent physical. He has the dribbling, the 4-star combination. I mean, you can't go wrong with Lozano. And Rebic, I actually can't believe how good of a card he has. 88 pace, 80 shooting. He has the 4-star combination. 81 physical. He's a very well-rounded striker. He can win things in the air. He could dribble a little bit. He could shoot on either foot. And he has the pace. So I think he's actually one of the best starter game strikers you can get. And he's only 80 rated, so he shouldn't be too expensive. Now let's look at the midfield. You're going to have Allen, Kessie, and Hector Herrera. And in my opinion, this is a midfield that's more suited for a 4-1-2-2. It is a bit defensive if you're going to play one of these guys at the cam position. So I'm not really sure if this is the team you want to use. If you do want to use like a 4-2-3-1 where there's a cam involved or anything like that. But if you're going to be using a 4-1-2-2 with 3 midfielders, this is really a good midfield you can get. Herrera is a beast at the beginning of the game every year. We have Kessie, who's a physical monster. You have Allen, the poor man's Conte. As far as defense goes, this is one of the best starter game midfields you can really bring in at a budget, in my opinion. And then when you look at this defense, it's a very solid defense. You have Hernandez, who's a very, very good left back. I know he's only 76 rated, but 92 pace, 76 physical is nothing to scoff at. You have Versalco, who even though they've nerfed him, is still a beast. I mean, he's still 6 foot tall. He still has very well-rounded stats. I wish he had a little bit more in the way of pace, but he's still going to be a very solid card at the beginning of the game. And then the defense, we have Gabriel Paulista, who in my opinion was one of the best center backs in La Liga last year at the beginning of the game. We have Sidney, who's gotten the upgrade to 70 pace, so he is usable. And then we have David Soria. And I did have a lot of options for the goalkeeper, but when you look at Soria, he's 6'4". He does have decent stats. He has all the makings of being a meta goalkeeper, so I don't care if he's non-rare. Areola last year was non-rare. He was still good. I think this guy's going to be the same thing. Starter squad number 4. It's going to be a very unique squad. I'm using Eredivisie, I'm using Serie A, and I'm using Ligue 1. It's a bit of a hybrid. It's a very interesting hybrid. I'm using some old names, some new names. It's actually a very exciting team. So we're going to start off with the front 3. We have Gelson Martins, we have Martinez, and we have Verdi. So we got the 5-star weak foot with Verdi. We have the 5-star skills with Gelson Martins. And then we have Martinez, who looks like the cheap man's Gabriel Jesus. And then when you look at the midfield, you have a very well-rounded midfield. You have Zielinski, once again, with a 5-star weak foot. You have Bonaventura, who can play Cam or CM. Same thing with Zielinski. And then you have Renato Sanchez, who can play CM or CDM. So it's a well-rounded, dynamic midfield. A lot of pace to boot. The only real flaw with this midfield is there is a lack of size here. So if you do want a destroyer CDM, you are going to like that with this formation. But if you like that tiki-taka, you like to dribble, you like to really pace around, this midfield is going to be very good for you. When you look at the defense, it's actually a very solid defense. You have Tagliafico, who's gotten a really good upgrade. I mean, 83 pace, 80 defense, 81 physical is actually insane for a starter game left back. You have Martinez, who low-key is a very, very good center back at the beginning of the game. He has 75 pace, 78 defense, 74 physical. Very solid card. You have Izzo. I wish he had a little bit more pace, but 68 pace does look solid at the beginning of the game. He has 83 defense, so he is going to have a clean tackle. And then you have the classic Florenzi. He's one of the best right backs in Serie A still. He does have a little bit of a downgrade here. His pace is a little bit low. His defense and physical have been nerfed a bit, but he is still a very good, well-rounded right back, especially if you like to attack with your fullbacks. And then you have Onana. He does look like a decent card. He might not be good because he's a little bit on the shorter side, but he should get you by for the first few weeks of FIFA. And now, we have the last, but actually, in my opinion, not least, starter squad. This is starter squad number 5, and this is the starter squad I might be using myself on the Broke Boy RTG. You'll be getting more information on the Broke Boy RTG when the game drops, but I am planning to do a Road to Glory, and this is a squad I built for myself for when the Road to Glory starts. This is what I want to go into the first weekend league with. So when you look at the attack, you're going to have Bakambu, you're going to have Carrasco, and you're going to have Bellarabi. And when you look at this, this is really a meta front three. You have the pace with Bellarabi, the pace with Carrasco. Carrasco has 80 shooting. Bellarabi has 76 shooting, so there are no slacks in front of goal. They both could dribble. They both have decent height, so they can win the headers if I need them to. And then you have Bakambu. And when you look at Bakambu, I mean, his stats are mental. 88 pace, 81 shooting, 76 physical. He can win things in the air. All three of them have good weak foot, good skill moves. I really, really like this front three. And then when you look at the midfield, it's actually an amazing, amazing midfield. You have Talisca, who can play Cam or CM. You have Paulinho and Delaney, who can play CDM or CM. And it's a very well-rounded team. You have Delaney with the height and the pure defense. You have Paulinho with really good defense, but at the same time, a really good shot. You have Talisca with the insane long shots, with the great height. The poor man's Pogba. The poor man's I don't even know who Paulinho. I think Paulinho is better than Angolan this year, so he's not even the poor man's Angolan anymore. You have Delaney, who's the poor man's Witzel. So this is a great, great midfield in my opinion. And when you look at the defense, I think this is going to be amazing. You have Ruslan and Babu, who are going to be my fullbacks. They have the pace, they have the defense, they have the physical, they have decent passing, decent dribbling. I think they're going to be great start of the game fullbacks. And then as my center backs, I'm going to have Vogt and Klosterman. And Klosterman's going to be really just there for the pace and the physical. He looks like he could be a good ball-playing center back. And they have Vogt, who's going to be 6'4" with these stats. 80 defense, 80 physical, 74 pace. Doesn't really get much better than that as far as starter teams go. And you have Casteels, who's 6'6" with these stats. He looks like he can be the cheap man's Thibaut Courtois. So that's going to be starter squad number 5. Let me know in the comment section down below, what are your starter squads going to look like? If you guys send me enough squads, I will make a video reacting to them because I know you guys like that kind of thing. Once again, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll be back later with another video. But until then, peace.